In my household, the Jack story comes up with some frequency. That is, whenever someone's doing the Jack story on themselves, we say, "Hey, you're doing the Jack story on yourself." And it's very simple, but very effective in lovingly reminding someone that they are going down the wrong path. All right, so there's this story, and maybe more like a poignant joke about what happens when we jump to conclusions. And I'm changing the language here so that this is GP rated. And I'm sure that there are probably various versions. And so if you know a different one, drop down to the comments section and let me know. Mine is about a traveling salesman. And this was long before cell phones or Starlink technology, where you could just, call and get somebody to help. So back in the day, this salesman, is out in the countryside driving on a lonely road on his way home. And he gets a flat tire and he goes, "Oh man, this is just what I need now. I gotta change a tire. And it's been a long day and it's nearing dusk so he pulls over to the side of the road and he gets out and he walks around to open the trunk and he throws that mat back and he takes the spare tire out, but he can't find the jack. That mechanism that raises the car off the ground so you can take off the flat tire and put the new one on. Well, without the jack, he can't change his tire and be on his way. So he takes a big sigh and he looks around and, it's a desolate back road and it's growing dark, but he sees a light in the distance and, it looks to be a farmhouse, but it's a walk. So now he's frustrated, maybe like any of us would be in this situation. But, he's thinking most everybody has a car jack, and especially a farmer with all his mechanics. So he musters his resourcefulness and he decides he's gonna trek over there and he's gonna get a jack from the farmer and he's gonna change his tire and head home to his family, who doesn't know where he is because, remember, this is before cell phones. So he sets out in a beeline straight toward that light, straight toward the farmhouse. And he crosses a dry ditch alongside the road and he has to step through a barbed wire fence and he snags his pants. Damn, he says, this farmer better have a jack, he's saying to himself. And he keeps walking and he's crossing a pasture and he's cursing all the time. And it's getting darker now and he steps in a cow pie. Oh man, he shakes it off his shoe and he thinks, I'm probably gonna get all the way over there and nobody's gonna be home. And his frustration is turning into agitation. But he keeps going. He's dirty and he's tired and he's fed up, but he's on track. So he finally reaches the backyard of this farmhouse where the light is shining. And as he gets closer to the house, he sees a dim light inside. And he says, I've come all this way and they probably won't even answer the door. Or worse yet, the farmer's going to show up with a shotgun. But he shuffles up the steps to the back door and he knocks. Nobody answers. And he's really getting upset now. But he knocks again and he waits. The anger's rising. But he hears someone shuffling from inside. And there's a long pause and then the turning of a rusty doorknob. The salesman, he's just fuming. What a waste of time, he's saying to himself. And the door slowly opens and a kind, wrinkled man's face appears, looking at the salesman, and he says, "Hey there, what can I do for you, mister?" Well, the salesman is so worked up by this time, he just narrows his eyes and he glares at the old farmer and barks, "Just keep your frickin' jack!" And he turns around and he stomps off. Okay, that's the Jack story. How often have you wanted or needed something and started telling yourself head stories of all the reasons that you're not either going to get what you need, or that thing you want to happen isn't going to happen? How often does that happen to you? And maybe you're not even aware of the sabotaging stories you tell yourself. It is important to develop the awareness to see when self-defeating thoughts creep in, whether it's about our desires for a new job or a new relationship, or maybe it's getting in shape or learning something new, or even when you have to ask for help, like the salesman. So cultivating that awareness is essential in creating new healthy behaviors in our lives. As I like to say, nothing changes if nothing changes. Do you have some thoughts about how the Jack story creeps into your life, or how you stopped it from creeping? Drop down to the comment section and let me know. I'm Becca Williams, and I want you to lead your most magnificent life, and I want to help you do that.